Well, hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite Written Writ Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, Apple Bites. So we just take a bite out of the apple and share it with you. And of course, we got our guest Alex Fernandez hanging out with us. And folks, we are about to talk about a lot of beautiful things, especially for you creative guys out there who want to do your own type of movies and shows and stuff. This is the show for you, folks. I gotta say, Alex, how did you get involved in all this so we can just jump into the whole thing?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me on your show.
Hmm.
Because we've seen each other around for a while, and
Oh,
we
definitely.
got a chance to be on the show. So I want to thank you for
Oh,
having
yeah, we've been trying to get Alex on the show for a while. It just didn't work out. It finally all came together after Urban Action Showcase because, of course, we were just there, and you won 2 awards at Urban Action Showcase.
me. Yeah, we did. So how I got into it was I've actually been into film since I was a small child, since I was about 4 years old. My parents used to take me to the movies every weekend, so I was watching movie, and I wasn't censored. So whatever movies they went to go see, I was watching. So I got to
Right.
see everything from like Carrie, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Jaws, Godfather, all these types of movies. And so, and then at home, I would just watch a lot of TV and watch a lot of silent films with my dad. My dad used to love silent films and a lot of black and white movies, so he put me on to those. And so, little by little, I just fell in love with cinema. And then later on in life, I ended up going to film school and graduating. And then after that, I used to do documentaries for a group, music group, Full Force. I don't
Mm.
know if you heard of them, but they were in the movie House Party. They were the bullies in House
Ah,
Party. So I traveled with them for a while, documenting all their stuff, and then I did a documentary on them. And so I used to do documentaries, and then eventually in 2012, I decided to just create my own little web series show because I knew how to do visual effects.
right.
So I was like, well, what can I do with these? I have this skill. What can I do with it? And so I decided to create a show called Body Jumpers, which was about an African American female superhero, and uh, and that's where it really took off. I created that show, and then people really liked it. And I started off with small episodes, just like 3 minute episodes. I think the first episode was probably like 3 minutes long, 4 minutes the most. And if you watch, the original stuff, it's just like it just kept growing. Every by the time at the season finale, it's like 20 minutes long.
Oh,
So
wow.
I I did that for a while. I did episodic shows. So afterwards, then I created Dawn, which was a vampire web series about a
Right.
vampire who works for God.
Hmm.
And so I did that for a while, and that took off. People really enjoyed it. They were like, "Oh my God, well, that's different. A vampire that works for God." So I did 2 seasons of that, and then I ended up doing a film that was a crossover between Dawn and a superhero that was already established called Surge in LA, in Los Angeles. A
Right.
producer named Vincent Roth um, has this property, Surge of Power, and in it he has a lot of actors like like Lou Ferrigno, a lot of actors that we grew up watching on TV, the original Shazam, uh,
Nice.
Nichelle Nichols, Star Trek. He has a lot. There's a lot of people in there. So
That's pretty
he
cool.
he came across my Body Jumpers and Dawn, and we met in Florida, and then we ended up collaborating, and he produced this film, and I ended up writing it and directing it and doing the visual effects for it, and we went to LA and we shot it, so that was great. And then after that, I decided to switch from web series to do short films, and then I started doing short films. And that's what I've been doing now is basically just short films. I haven't done a feature length film, but I
Right.
my short films are not like short, like 15 minutes. They're like 45 minutes.
Right. So it's more like a longer like a
Yeah, it's
longer
like
TV show.
it's
Yeah.
a longer
Yeah.
version of a short film, I
Yeah.
guess you could
So
say.
it's a made for TV movie. There you go.
Right, it's like to the limit before they say, okay, this is a feature.
Exactly.
So it's like right at the border of that. And I also have comic books based on my web series, on my Body Jumpers web
I
series.
gotta say, like, I keep looking at all the stuff, especially when you were sending me like everything that you've been doing. I'm like, damn, you just keep moving forward, keep adding things. I think that's what you're supposed to do, but a lot of people like seem to stay stuck in a certain place.
Well, I think a lot of people have an idea of what they would, I guess, sometimes it may look simple. It may look just like,
Right.
okay, I'll
Hmm.
get this story together, and then I'll get this person together, and then we'll get together and we'll create something.
Hmm.
You'll quickly find it's not that simple. Mainly because it's the more people you have, is more different personalities,
Yeah.
it's more schedules.
Yep.
And schedules are usually like the worst thing, right? Just you got to sit around and just you got to wait until somebody's free for to be able to do it. So yeah, a lot of people end up giving up. They may do like one project and they usually
Yeah.
up. Like I did 50 episodes of Body Jumpers and
Whoa.
about 25 episodes of Dawn. So I've done a lot, mainly because I wanted to master my craft, and the best way to master my craft is to actually do it. So I wanted
I'm
to.
happy you're saying that because what ends up happening with a lot of people is instead of just jumping in and doing it, like you started off, you said you started off, you started doing small videos, 2 3 minutes, but that helped you learn what you needed to do. And if it wasn't for those videos, you would have never gotten to the point that you got to.
Absolutely.
But a lot of people won't do those first videos. They stay there thinking about it all, and they don't do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, actually, when you're doing it, it's when you learn. You get all the hiccups,
Hmm.
and you always got to figure something out. And when you don't have a budget, like I had no budget to do my stuff, so it's just necessity is the mother of invention. So you just
Yeah,
start to find ways to, well, how can I make this happen, or how can I get this shot, or how
gotta
can I
get
get this,
creative.
so it just as long as you have the will and you believe in yourself and you don't give up and you don't listen to other people, then you can get it done. Because most of the time, if you tell somebody, "Oh, I want to be a filmmaker," they're usually like, "You're like what?" Like usually their mind just goes to the extreme. It'll go to like, "What do you think? You're gonna be Steven Spielberg?" And it's just like, no, no, not at all. But
That's not what I'm trying to do.
I'm just trying to tell a story. I know how to
Exactly.
tell a story.
A lot of people want to make it more than it is because and I'm like, dude, relax. I'm
Right.
doing something. I'm doing my own thing. Let me do my own thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But usually when you do it and then they see it, then they celebrate it with you. Then it's a good feeling. Then they get it. Because sometimes when you try to explain to somebody,
Oh yeah.
I'll use this as a perfect example. When I first was creating body jumpers, I was sitting around with my friends and I said, I want to create a show about an African American female who's a superhero that lives in the project. She lives in Brooklyn, but she's really from like space, right?
Right.
It's an intergalactic show. My friend, my best friend, goes to me and goes, "Wait, you want to make an African American? Who's gonna go see that? She has to be white." And this was a black friend saying this. So I found that's why I found funny. I was like, wait a minute. It's just that you've been conditioned to just see like this white hero
Yeah.
all the time. Since you're a little child, the minute you turn on the TV or you open up a comic book, it's somebody white. So
Definitely.
naturally, your first instinct is, wait, for this to be popular, it has to be somebody white, which I understand, but it's not true. So when he said that, I said, okay, now I really want to do it.
Yeah,
So
because you know what you want to like look. I'll show you.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, and all my shows are all diverse and
Hmm.
everything. I wanted specifically to be an African American. Like I told one of the first people when I got first interviewed for that show, I wanted to be about an African American heroine who's not on heroin. Because it's usually the African American image they usually portray is not a good one. So I would, it's
Oh, I know exactly what you're saying because when I was doing extra work, it was always that kind of role that I would get.
oh, I'm sure.
And it's like, oh, you can be the cook. Oh, you can be the crook. Oh, you can be.
Right.
And you're like, dude.
I could do a lot of other things, but yeah. And that's another reason I started my own stuff because I figured, I mean, nobody's invited me to sit at their table. So I just figured, you know what, I go do my own stuff. And then eventually, if I do enough good work, then they'll come to me. They'll say, hey, who are you? Hi, Alex. And that's exactly what happened. I just kept my head down, focused, kept writing my stuff and kept working on it. And eventually I got to work with a lot of different people that I actually grew up watching on TV. Now I'm directing in the movie. So
Yeah.
it was, as long as you just work hard and keep your head down, you should be all right.
I agree. Like and again, if sometimes you got to do it yourself so you can have the change come out there. If you want the roles, then you make the roles. If
Yeah,
you want the shows, then you make the shows. If you want the movies, then you make the.
no, absolutely. It's another thing it's what I tell some actors when I come across them. I always ask them an important question. I said, "Do you want to be an actor? Or do you want to be famous?"
Yeah.
Because it's two different things. If you want to be an actor, you could just take the script, be in my production, and you're an actor. Now, if you want to be famous like Brad Pitt, that's a whole different sport. That's a
Yeah,
whole.
it's a whole other thing. Yeah.
Brad Pitt didn't become Brad Pitt overnight. It took him 20 years. But people. So you got to disassociate the two things. I guess is what I try to when I first speak to actors is to try to see where their mind is at.
Right. It's so weird to me because a lot of people like to make it overnight success, always overnight success. I'm
Right.
like, it's not overnight success. Just because you all of us you didn't see them and now you see them doesn't
Yeah.
mean it's overnight success.
Yes. They don't know that. They worked like 15 years before you saw them.
Exactly.
They ate a lot of crap. They worked crappy jobs that they didn't want to work until they got here. But people think that this person just woke up and they were famous and that was it. No work.
So you go from project to project, moving from moving. You've done documentaries, you've done superhero stuff, you've done horror stuff. Do you feel like that's what it is for you? You want to do multiple different things. You don't want to be pigeonholed into one thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to be just like, oh, he can only do sci-fi.
Right.
If it doesn't have an effect in it, he can't tell a story. So I try to tell all types of stories so that you can see. Well, I even did silent stories with no dialogue, and
Nice.
so it's just I try to show like I'm not a one-trick pony. I have a variety of different stories. Some stories I can't tell because I just don't have the budget for it, and it wouldn't be proper or respectful to the script that I wrote to try to tell a story that really needs a budget to try to tell it with no budget. It just wouldn't be fair to the script. Wouldn't be fair to me.
When it comes to those projects, how do you handle them? Do you just put them to the side until you can do them? Because I know there's a project that you probably couldn't do in the beginning, and then you were able to do later on, right?
Yeah. So what I do is, I put them on the side, or I make them into a comic book because that's the beauty of comic books is
Yeah,
I don't need a
it
budget.
makes it
I can do
easier to do.
underwater sea battles. I can have whatever I want. I can have giant creatures. I can have everything, and still be able to tell you the story the way I want to tell you. So that's the beauty of the comic book. It's just an extension of my shows or whatever. But I'm in the comic books. I'm always telling the stories that I can't tell in the show that I have on YouTube. So
So
I take advantage of that in that sense.
since you're talking about this, let's ask that question. What makes the comics and the live action different? How is it? What is it that you can't do sometimes in the live action that you can do in the comic books?
Well, for example,
Hmm.
in the comic books in Body Jumpers, right now we have like this giant uh, ocean battle going on with creatures that live below the ocean against surface dwellers, and we have an alien invasion stuff that it will be impossible for me to just do on a
Yeah.
shoestring budget, on a mom and pop budget. So stuff like that, I'm able to put it in a comic book and make it as fantastical and as epic as I want because I know I have no budget. I don't have to deal with. I actually you don't have to deal with actors, schedules, any of that. You
No.
just take your
Yeah.
story and then your artist,
Yep.
brings it to life for you.
Which is
So
good.
and that's
That makes it a little bit easier.
yeah, absolutely.
It's always bugged me out because we've been talking to you for ages now. Like I think the first time we interviewed you was at MCon,
Yes.
and that was a long time ago now. That was
A
before
long time.
before the pandemic.
Yeah.
When I met your daughter the first time, she was really little.
Yeah, she was really small. She was signing autographs that day.
Exactly.
So,
She was already the superhero.
because everybody likes Glitter Girl, and she started
Exactly.
that character started on Body Jumpers, and I should say the original Body Jumpers. I ended up going back after I created Dawn. Since my writing had got better, my
Hmm.
cinematography got better, I had better camera, I had better stuff.
Right.
Decided to go back and reboot Body Jumpers, and I created Body Jumpers Resurrection. So there is where I introduced my daughter as Glitter Girl in the first episode. I believe she was 8 years old in that episode.
I'm happy you said that because it also showcases that sometimes you can go back to kind of recreate or do things better because now you do have a better budget. You do have better things, better ways to do the things that you weren't able to do before.
Absolutely. So it made sense to me to be like because Dawn was so good and it was getting better and I saw that my writing had gotten better. And I said and I looked at it. I said no, I believe I could do this better. I I could take this and I could make it even better. And that's what I did. Thank God. And it worked out.
So I know Lucas did the same thing with Star Wars. He went back. He goes, "I can make this better."
Right.
Where do you think the line crosses when it comes to that kind of stuff?
Well, I didn't go back in the sense that I went back to the original episodes and altered it and that I didn't do. It is what it is. When you go back to see my original work,
Hmm.
what it is, my first work.
Exactly.
It look fantastical or anything, and the effects could be now if I could go back because it's been now 13 years. I'm sure
Yeah.
the effects don't probably even hold up now, but you can see if you watch it from the first one all the way through, then you can see the growth. And
And that's
I
always
as
great.
soon as you see the growth, then I think
Mhm.
you'll be all right. Because if you just plateau, then that might be a problem. I mean, and the worst crime you could do to me as a filmmaker is just be boring. And if you
Yeah.
put it down, it's boring. I mean, that's the worst crime. So I try not to be boring. I try to at least keep people interested, and you can't make everybody happy. I mean, there's always going to be
Oh,
somebody who
that is true.
watches and says I don't like it, which is fine. That's the beauty of film. It's subjective. Subjective. So it's
Speaking of Lucas,
absolutely
and his fan base.
yeah. No, I mean they'll turn on you real quick.
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, it's so funny to me because they were like, "Oh my God, Lucas messed it up," and then
Yeah.
when Disney took over, "Oh my God, bring
Yeah.
Lucas back."
Yep. But I mean, things are just not going to be the same when once the creator steps away. I
Yeah.
mean, because that's the creator. That
Yeah.
goes for anything. The same way when James Cameron stepped away from Terminator after Part Two, it just
Yeah.
hasn't been the same thing. Because he's not there. That's where it comes from. He's the one feeding it. So
Yeah.
I
It's
feel the
his
same way with me.
creativity,
If
baby.
somebody takes over my stuff, I think people immediately will say, "Well, I could tell Alex didn't do this," because every director has their own. We all directors tell the same story just over and over. I mean, if you look at all our works, you're always gonna see a common thread through all of them.
Oh, definitely. And
So
I always go with Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell said all the stories have been told. It's just that they haven't heard your version of the story.
yeah, I
Hmm.
think there's only what like seven original stories or whatever.
Exactly. That's what he was saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Seven original stories, and then everything else is a variation of
everything else is a variation of those seven stories.
But
So
that's good though because sometimes, like he says, your variation of that story hasn't been seen yet.
yes.
And that's why folks, you need to keep going. You need to keep doing your stuff.
That's exactly what I was gonna say next because
Exactly.
people just don't give up. Don't give up. They just won't have the steam, and it does take a lot of energy. I mean, I did it.
Yeah.
I've done it so long now that is almost second nature to me now because I've been doing it so long that I know I can do it. And sometimes I wonder. I said, I bet people could see me doing it and they think this is simple, but it's just that I've done it so long and I have like this whole encyclopedia in my mind about film and cinema and film language
Right.
that I've just learned since I was 4 years old. I really immersed myself into films and how they work, and from the beginning of film to now. So yeah,
But it's like you said though, like the more you do it, the better you become. You
yeah,
become you start to master what you're doing.
absolutely. And you have to watch movies. You
Oh,
can't make
definitely.
movies without watching movies. You have to watch, and you have to watch. Go back and watch the original ones, the original masters, the ones that inspired, the ones that
Yeah.
inspired the directors that you like.
Yep.
Watch those guys.
Because a
Hitchcock.
lot of people it's so funny. Like I know when we were growing up, we had people like that where that they didn't pay attention to anything they weren't interested in, or they didn't look at history, or they didn't. But I could swear we were more engrossed in all that older stuff than they are now. Because I feel like now it's like you tell them a movie and they're like, "What the hell is that?" And I'm like, "Dude, why haven't you seen that?"
Yeah, absolutely. But also, when we were young, there was about three channels.
That is true.
So
You have to watch it.
now they have, now they have a million channels, a million things streaming, and they're still not.
Yeah.
I mean, you could literally stand. you could literally be there half an hour looking for something to watch, scrolling through a thousand
Yeah.
different things,
Hmm.
and you still going, no, there's nothing for me to watch here. Where before everything was an event, right?
Yep.
Everything that was happening because we only the we only had like three channels, so everybody would tune in, and when something big was happening, it
Event
would
TV.
be, tonight Michael Jackson's Thriller or whatever it
Yep.
was. Everybody was around that TV at 8 o'clock or whatever time it was,
Oh
and
yeah, like during the holidays, like right now, you'd have all those Christmas specials and Thanksgiving specials,
absolutely
and everybody would see it.
everybody would see it. Rudolph, Frosty, and
Yeah.
but now everything is everybody's on their tablet, on their phone, so
You got so many things vying for your
people's
attention.
attention span
And
is not the same.
no.
So if you don't cut every 15 seconds, they're gonna walk out. That type of thing. So
Yeah. That's why it's up to you guys to go find all that stuff that he's talking about. Go see what your favorite director's favorite movie is.
absolutely.
Go look at other things.
Yes.
Don't just stay
Go watch
in the
foreign
present. Yeah.
film.
Hmm.
Eating a burger all the time, you know what a steak tastes like. So try watching foreign films. Watch
Exactly.
François Truffaut, Jean-Luc Godard, all
Hmm.
those films, 8.5 Weeks, and The Bicycle Thief. I mean, there's so many great films out there that
I
are
go
not color; they're in black and white.
exactly.
Sorry to break your heart. And they're not written by Quentin Tarantino, but you will enjoy yourself if you just give it a chance. And then you may see a lot of stuff in those films that you see now, and you say,
Yeah.
"Oh, wow, that's where that guy got it from." I thought he made that up, but no, it seems that he got it from here.
And it's good to do your research. It's good to see other things that might influence what you're doing. The more you study, the better it is on what you're doing. For every craft, for writing, for art, for everything, the more you see, the more you engross yourself into things, the better it is.
Yes, I try. I watch a movie a day, so I stay up on it.
So, if we were to ask Alex, so Alex, what was the movies that influenced you, and why? There you go.
Well, some of the movies that influenced me, I love, like my favorite director is Alfred Hitchcock, so I love all his films. Rear Window is probably my favorite movie of all time. But I love that. I love like Strangers on the Train and there's Psycho and The Birds and Vertigo and Dial M for Murder and North by Northwest. There's a whole bunch of them. I love Brian De Palma, who was also influenced by Hitchcock. So
Yep.
all his films are very Hitchcockian. So, you have like Carrie, Dress to Kill, Scarface. I know a lot of people love that, especially hip hop
Oh
culture.
yeah.
Scarface, Carlito's Way,
Mm.
Snake Eyes, which I think is one of his underrated ones, with Nicolas
It's funny
Cage.
because as you start to say them, in your head, you go, "Oh, I can see the how they all work together."
Right? And superhero stuff is just like, I used to love Superman, obviously Christopher Reeves, 1978 versions, my all-time favorite. So that I used to love watching Wonder Woman. And then that's another thing. I don't, all my stories and all my shorts and whatever, they always have like a female lead. It's always like the female story. So it's because since I was a child, I always found it more interesting to when the female was doing it. Like I thought it was more interesting to watch, Sarah Connor, you know, going up against the Terminator than it was Kyle Reese. Let's just put it like that.
I gotta say, like, I thought it was just me. I like female protagonists as well.
Yeah, it
I
just
find that
to
a
me,
lot of my projects tend to have female protagonists.
yeah. And now it seems to be, now it's a thing, but I was doing it since the beginning. That's
Yeah, same
the way
thing here.
my comic books are the same way. My shows are like that, and yeah, I don't know why. It's just that's the way. That's what when I'm writing my story. That's what I picture. I picture a female protagonist, and I build it from there. I just keep going. But
I'm the
yeah,
same way.
female.
It pops in, and I always got the same thing. Why is that a girl? And you're like, because it's a girl.
Yeah,
And I'm like, oh, you're just trying to be this. No, it's a girl because it's a girl. I'm
yeah.
not trying to be woke. I'm not trying to be the
Mhm.
character came out the way the character came out. That's the way the character wanted to be, and that's why they
I
came
mean,
out.
I don't write them. I necessarily don't write. Most of the times when I write my characters, I don't. I usually just write if it's a male character, it's a male character, it's a female.
Exactly. Hmm.
But I don't usually write like, oh, it's specifically it's Indian, a Native American or a Spanish person or whatever. Because to me, anybody could play this role. It's whoever plays it the best. It's
Right.
just once they have the character, they make it their own. That's up to them. I don't really tell them this is what the character is. I just tell them this is. I give them
This is the character.
the
Yeah.
basic character, and then the rest you bring to it. You create it, and it shows up on camera, and then from there we sometimes later on once they do it so much, I'll write something and I'll say, I don't think my character would say that. Okay, so what do you think they would say? And then I'll change it. That's another thing. Never be afraid of people's ideas just because they're better than your own.
Definitely. You know, it's teamwork, man. It's teamwork, folks. It makes it better.
Oh man, listen, I don't care who comes up with the idea. If it's better than mine, we're using it. That's
Exactly.
100%. Because my goal is to put out the best short film or to put out the best episode that I can. And if somebody has a better idea to do that, then that's what we should do. My ego, I don't have no egos when it comes to that. It's just, I want the best it could be. And the best is all of us coming together and really putting our mind to it and saying, no, we should do it this way. And then we should.
Yeah. And you're doing something right. If you saw that the one of these things I was showing off, there were tons of awards.
Yeah.
That's always like, hey, look, somebody's doing something. Oh man, I gotta say, like, it's amazing the amount of stuff that you've been up to, that you've been doing. Here goes the comic books,
Yeah.
and I feel like you're actually doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is like, don't stay in one place. Use whatever you need to get creative.
Right. Yeah, it's the need to tell stories.
Mhm.
I want to tell stories. I really enjoy just telling stories. And if only one person sees it, or if one child,
Yeah,
kid, or teenager or
I
grown
agree.
person watches it and says, "Oh, you know what? I think I want to tell a story too," and then I did my job. Then I'm happy. To me, that means more when I receive a letter from a fan or a comment from a fan, or they write me and say, "I love your stuff," or "You inspire me," or whatever it is. To me, that means more than any award could ever mean. 100%.
I completely agree. I feel like sometimes we get so I know we need to make money. I know it's part of the beast, but at the same time, I feel like the creativity of the whole thing starts to go away if you're just concentrating on the money.
Yeah. Well, that goes back to being.
Hmm.
Do you want to be an actor? Or do you want to be famous?
And
That
I
goes.
say that all the time when I talk about writing. I'm like, well, so why are you writing? Are you writing because you want to write, or are you writing because you want to make money? Because that's two different types of writers.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, because
Absolutely.
if you're writing just because you want to pull out the creativity from inside of you, then that's all you need to do. If you
Yeah.
want to make money, then you got to figure out how to write to make money.
Yeah. And who we're gonna go sell this to? Who's gonna
Exactly.
buy it and all
Hmm.
that other stuff?
And
So
that's a whole other job.
that's a
We're
whole
talking about the
other.
the creative part of all this. There's a whole other job to figure out how to sell it.
Yes, that's a whole different monster.
Mm.
Oh boy.
I know, and I know it's bigger for you because you got these videos and movies. You got to figure out how to get it out there, how to make money off of it, how to do the production. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it is a lot. It definitely is. But I think once you once I did my first comic book, it was just like, whoa, this is cool.
Yeah.
And then you get the urge, like, okay. And I learned from that too. If you look at my first issue that I ever did,
Hmm.
not a lot of dialogue in them pages because I didn't know how to write a comic book. I was writing it like a show.
Yeah.
Not thinking, oh wait a minute, the artist is gonna worry about the backgrounds and all that other stuff. I just have to worry about the dialogue.
Yeah.
So I mean, now if you look at my books, they're full of dialogue because now I know how it works. But that first issue, I didn't know. But that's what it goes to back to. You don't know until you try. You got to
Exactly.
do it. You got to take your lumps, and then you be like, okay, I get it. I get it. I get it.
I got this now, and that's the whole thing. As you go forward, you get it. You do better. You become a better master. It's the same. I tell people when it comes to be writing, because a lot of people look at it as you need to be a certain place to be a writer. But I know you're a writer as soon as you're writing. You can level up your writing. You can become an
100.
author. You can become a published author, a published writer. That's a whole other thing.
Yes.
But you're already a writer as you're writing. Same thing with you guys. You're already a filmmaker if you're making the film.
Yes.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I mean, I didn't think when I first started. I didn't think I was gonna be writing stuff. I wasn't very fond of writing. Let's just say that. But what I discovered is if you don't show up to set on script, then you're unprepared, and not
Uh-huh.
only that, it's gonna be chaos. People are just gonna want to do whatever they want to do, and
Yeah.
you're gonna end up with a mixture of everybody's thoughts, but
Oh,
not
definitely.
clear thoughts. They're
Hmm.
just thoughts of the moment. So I always make sure I have a script, but I learned that because I didn't have a script at one point, right? And then I saw, oh no, never again. Never again will I ever show up without a script. So I always make sure I have my script.
Because
So
you can be creative and not have the script, but you still need an outline.
yes, you have to know where we going, where we headed,
Exactly.
and where does this train stop? Or else forget about it. It just yeah. You gotta have
Especially for filming. Yeah.
you gotta have a clear vision of what you want. And so that's why I'm able to film quickly when I go film, my scenes or whatever. Most of the times with act you get this from the actor. How long is it gonna take?
Yeah.
I always say, well, that depends on you. At the park, we're out of here fast. If you're gonna take 30 takes, then we're gonna take longer.
Yeah.
So it's really up to the actor how fast we get out of here. I know what I want. I know where I'm putting my camera. I know the shots that I need, so
Yep.
that we can move on to the next thing. So
Hmm.
we'll be very, pretty fast if you hit your lines and we get it done and we can get out of here. So because I know exactly what I want because I've already seen the movie in my head when I wrote the script. I see it clearly. I already know where my camera's gonna be. When I'm writing the script, I already know. Or when I'm reading it, I already know that's where I'm putting the camera. So I usually, I don't do shot lists. I don't have shot lists. Shot lists on my head. I know when I get there, listen, this is where the camera goes. This is what I want.
And that's the other thing. Like with what you're doing, until you get a bigger team, you're calling a lot of the shots. You're doing a lot of the work. So,
Yeah, I have,
you have to figure out how you want it filmed. You got to figure out if you're writing it the right way. You got to figure. That's a lot
yeah.
of figuring out.
Well, yeah, it is. But you get used to it after a while. It's just like everything else. It's like Jack of
Also,
all trades, master of none.
so here's the other aspect of it because I know exactly how it is. So when all of a sudden now you have somebody else that's doing one of those jobs of yours,
Mhm.
is it easier or harder? Because now you're not completely doing everything.
Well, I'll tell you this: when I had the movie produced in LA, Surge of Dawn, I
Hmm.
had a full crew there for the first time. So I had production assistants
Right.
and all that other stuff. And for the beginning part of it, I was still going around trying to do. I was still because I'm so used to just, hey, let's go, let's move. I'm used to that. I'm not used to
Right.
okay, wait, I gotta wait for this guy to come move this stuff to then move the light for me.
Yep.
It just feels to me, it just feels a little redundant. It's just like I could grab this light myself
Yeah.
and save us about 10 seconds, 20 seconds. I just grab this myself and put it exactly where I want instead of me standing going, no, a little bit to more to the left. No, more like that. Perfect. Right? When I could just grab it. So
Yeah.
that took a little used to, for me to get used to because I'm just used to, I'm a hands-on person. I want
Right.
to get it done. And to me, I just move faster that way. I was never a person that liked to sit back and watch people do stuff for me. It's not me. I'd rather just do it myself. So that took a little while to get used to. They were like, no, Alex, this is our job. We'll get this, so that. But it did make it easier once I got used to that because I was able to just focus on my shots,
Yeah.
on compositions, on what we were doing, on
Hmm.
excuse me, on what the scene was about.
Right.
So in that sense, yes, it was a lot easier because yeah, I didn't have to focus on anything else. I didn't have to worry
Yeah.
about visual effects, any of that stuff. I just focus on the actors
Yeah.
and let's get this shot right. And everybody else worry about everything else. You got the person looking at the clock saying, Alex, we only got one more take and then we got to go to the next location. That's another thing I had to get used to. Because I need my shot. And they're like, no, 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 no. We have
There we
about
go.
we got about 15 minutes and then we gotta break down, we gotta move to the other shot. So I had to get used to that because again, it's a producer paying for it,
Hmm.
their money, so I get it. But I had to get
But it
adjusted to that.
streamlines everything at the same time that it's kind of weird, but it's stream. Like you're saying, as the team is moving like one unit,
Yes,
it kind of just makes things better.
yes, yes. Because where everybody's like everybody got the same goal.
Hmm.
To get your vision onto the screen,
Exactly.
and you need to help us do that. So, once I got that clicked, I was like, okay,
Hmm.
got
It's
it.
my vision.
We're
They're
all on
just
the
doing
same
it.
team. I got it.
But it's amazing. I like I've been on a lot of sets, and it's always amazing to me to see how the team works as a team, because
Right.
that's just it's so beautiful to watch.
Yeah, it's about finding the right people.
Hmm.
That's why in a lot of my projects you see a lot of the same actors
Yeah.
because we already built this shorthand. We don't have to say much. They get me, I get them, and we can just get it done and have fun. I mean, 'cause that's the main thing. I mean, my thing is we gotta be able to have fun.
Right.
If this feels like work, I don't want to do it. So it has to feel like fun. We have to have a place where everybody feels comfortable and open to be able to create,
Right.
and voice their opinions and not feel judged or whatever. No, everybody's allowed to say whatever they want. If there's Again, our goal is to make this the best it could be.
And I like that because sometimes like you were saying, you'll hear something from somebody, and like I didn't even think about that, and that makes the shot or that makes the scene better.
Yes, absolutely. And you have to be open to criticism.
Yeah.
I mean, some people can't take criticism at all. Some
No.
people that write something or create something and say this is the best thing since sliced bread. So you can't help somebody like that.
No.
You already think it's the greatest thing, so I can't help you. But
And
if
I've
you
seen
want
that.
some criticism and you
Yeah.
actually do want to make it better,
Hmm.
then well, I think you could work on this or you could work on that. And the same thing for me. I could show it to somebody and say, oh, whoa, hold on, and they seen it through a different lens.
Right.
I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? If one person said that, 10 people will say that. So I'm definitely open to criticism all the time, and it doesn't hurt my feelings or anything like that. Because again, my goal is to make this the best it could be. And if you can't take criticism, then it's going to be pretty hard to grow, to the next level or to move on because you just think your stuff is the best, and so that's it. That's all we're gonna do.
Yeah, and I think people always forget as well that just because somebody says something doesn't mean you have to do it. You should like pay attention and listen to what's going on. Just because they said it doesn't mean you shouldn't be getting upset because somebody, hey, how about this? Let them say it. And again, you might get an idea from them because that's how creativity works.
Right, absolutely. It's good to surround yourself with like even harsh critics, a
Yeah.
good friend, a good somebody who's going to be totally honest with you, not just say, "Oh, it's great because he's your friend or he's your brother," and say, "Oh no, I love it. I love." No, 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 no. Tell me the truth.
Yeah.
Don't set me up for a failure here. Tell me the truth. Be like, "Oh, you know what? That's the pacing is off. It was cool, but do you really need that scene?"
Yeah.
And if it's something that I really feel like strongly about that it belongs there, then I'll fight for it. I'll argue for it. I'll say,
Yeah.
no, this is why it
Exactly.
belongs. And I'll
Yeah.
give you a reason. The same way
Exactly.
they'll say, no, this is why. And sometimes I lose and sometimes I win, but in the end, the story wins. Like you could say that.
I also feel like when that happens, though, you see it differently because you're defending yourself or because you're trying to show someone why it needs to be there. All of a sudden, you see it in a bigger creative light,
Yeah,
and sometimes you'll see something that'll make it better, that has nothing to do with what they're saying.
absolutely. It's because sometimes you get just tunnel vision. You're just working
Exactly.
alone. I'm editing alone. I'm doing everything alone, so I don't have anybody to feed off to say, "Oh no, no." So once I'm putting it together, then my friend is sitting there saying, "Yeah, this is good," or "You need to spice this up or do something." I don't know, or like this movie. When this happens, you know how they did that. You need something like that, and they're like, "Oh, you know what? You're right. You're
And
absolutely
that's beautiful. I feel like as a writer, one of the biggest things because you always send your stuff to people. Sometimes and most of the times you send stuff to family and friends. And
right."
my the worst thing is you send it to them, and I'm like, okay, so, and they're like, oh, it was good. And I'm like,
Right.
why was it good? Well, give me the reasons. Or it was bad. I'm like, why? Why was it bad? And I'm like, dude, give me the feedback. Let me know. When you're watching something, you have ideas that are flowing through your head. You
Yes.
have thoughts. I want to hear those thoughts.
Yes. Absolutely.
Because
And
telling me that it's good doesn't help me.
no, 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 no. Absolutely, 100%. And
Because
sometimes you
I know
notice.
we hate people who review things and stuff like that, but sometimes when you listen to them, you're like, oh, wait a minute.
Well, also people have to understand like when you write, when it comes to films or
Mm-hmm.
episodes, whatever, when you write a script,
Yep.
that's one movie, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you go film it, it morphs into something else.
It does.
It's a totally different. It's a different movie than what you wrote because on set things happen, things change, and you say that was great. Let's change that. That doesn't sound so good. Oh my god, I got a great idea. You know what? Instead of so it becomes something else. And
Yeah.
then when you get into the editing room, it becomes a whole different thing, right? Because now I'm shifting stuff around. Stuff that I had in the script that's in the middle, now I have it in the beginning. And stuff, you know what I mean. It's
I know what you're
non-linear,
saying.
right? So you can jump around, and so every time that story changes between the script to set and from set to edit to post-production, it changes about 3 times before
Oh,
you end up
definitely.
with the final version. It's very close to sculpting, but you're just sculpting a different way. And
Because
you just keep going at it until you got that final. It's never perfect. So when
no.
I watch my stuff, I usually, which I don't watch myself, but when I do go back and watch my stuff years on, I look at it and what I see is like my flaws. I just see, oh, this could be better, that could be better. So it's just funny when other people watch it. I say, this is really good. I say, oh, that's great. But I just see all where it could be better in all the places that I compromise myself. That I said it was this when I wrote in the script, but I can't get that because I don't even have the budget for it or the actors for it, and so I have to compromise, and it became this. So I see a lot of my compromise when I watch my past work, and it'll probably be like that until the day I die. I mean, and future work as well. It's always a compromise.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to do a script where I've shot. I take that back. Surge of Dawn, the one I was produced, that script was done. Everything I wrote was shot exactly
Wow. That's impressive.
exactly the way I wrote it.
Yeah. Because that
Yeah.
doesn't happen like that. So that's
No,
impressive.
absolutely not. So I was surprised myself. But we had shot all of it like in a week. Took us like 7 days, but then we didn't get everything. So we went back like a few months later. We flew back to LA and got all the pickup shots and all the scenes that we didn't get to shoot the first time because that person was saying, Alex, we got to move to the next set. And I'm like,
Yeah, 'cause
no.
you need to keep the whole thing on rails, folks. 'Cause I know what happens. I've been on these sets. Sometimes we're not paying attention and we're getting creative, and next thing you know, it's a bunch of hours later, and you haven't done everything.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, you can never have enough coverage. That's one thing.
No.
Get back to the room, and you have only one take, 2 takes. My heart bleeds for you, because you really want to have coverage. I mean, that's it's gonna save you a lot when you're in the editing room.
Yeah, my favorite thing is let's do another one for safety.
Absolutely. Yeah, I always say that too.
Yeah, because it's
Well,
fantastic.
sometimes you get the situation also where actor says, "I think it should be this way," and then I say, "Okay, well let's shoot it that way,"
And
and
see
then
what
I'll
happens.
shoot it my
Yeah.
way, and then we'll decide in post, which
Yeah.
one works better.
See, I feel like it's another thing. I feel like when people think of movies, they think it's just one linear thing, but sometimes it's what you're saying. Sometimes in the editing room, in post production, it looks way different than it did on set or in the writing or anything. And all of a sudden now you have a whole other movie that you didn't think you had.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because you just move stuff around and say, you know what? This actually works better as a beginning to catch the people's audience. I mean, you really want to hook your audience right at the beginning, right? It's
Yeah.
that famous story of one night I was walking home and when I turned the corner, the devil was standing there, so you already have you hooked. So that kind of idea of I got to hook my audience in the first time so then they could sit and listen to the rest of my crap.
Oh, dude, that first hook is always the best thing in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, aha, gotcha.
Yeah, gotcha. Now, please stick around, watch the rest.
Oh my God, yeah, folks. Sometimes you need to get that hook in. You need to get that little beautiful. Come on, you want to watch this.
Yes, absolutely. I
I know
appreciate
there's been
it.
times like that I watch a movie and just because the hook was fantastic, and then I'm like, why did I watch that?
Yeah, they have a great hook and the rest is just flat. That happens too.
Oh man, yeah,
But they
folks,
still had a
being
good
creative. Whew.
hook. Well, back then when we were growing up, a lot of movies were sold just by the poster alone, the
Oh,
cover.
definitely.
So we would just be like, "Oh wow, what's this?" and we'll go watch it.
Yep. Yeah, oh, that was a good poster.
hmm Great poster, crappy movie.
and that's how what it is. Sometimes, like and I feel like the art of the trailer is kind of lost now because most of the times speaking of trailers, most of the times you watch a trailer and they give you the whole movie and you're like,
Yeah,
why am I going to the movie?
absolutely. I hate when they do that. I think one of the directors that does the best is Christopher Nolan. He always gives you trailers that don't give you anything, but you know you want to see it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want to see this, but I have no idea what it's about, but I want to see it. And so that's great. Because some of them you can watch it and say, oh man, it looks like they showed me the ending to this movie.
yeah.
Like that part looks like it's gonna be the ending. I don't know. So, yeah.
I like those guys who make the trailer and it's a whole other production. It has nothing to do with the movie.
Right.
You're like, oh my god, wait a minute, where's that scene that was in the trailer? It's like, nope, we
Yeah.
didn't use that scene.
Nope, they were just made for the trailer and that was it.
And it's so funny because I've seen that, like, especially like I'm working on some indie films. I know some directors they'll do a whole other thing that the trailer is a
Right.
whole other movie by
It's
itself.
like a spec trailer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you
people
sit there going, wait a minute, this is a whole other movie.
yeah, people have asked me that. They said, would you do like a spec trailer or like a fan film? And I always say, nah, because I like writing my stuff and being original, and I don't want to waste my time writing like a Star Wars fan film. I mean,
Yeah,
these people got $1 trillion. They don't need my story.
exactly.
They
Like I
don't need
understand,
my story.
yeah, I
I'm not
understand if
gonna.
you're gonna do a fan film so you can get your juices flowing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
That's it.
But I'm gonna sit down and write something. It's gonna be something original. It's something I
Exactly.
want to tell. And yeah, I'm not into the fan stuff. I mean, nothing against people that do that stuff, but me personally, I'm just saying I like to tell original stories, and I don't want to write nobody else's coattails or be
Yeah,
like, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of a lot of stuff, but I'm not gonna sit there and do fan films all day of Star Wars or Superman or all these properties that are not public domain that you
yeah,
actually could do it.
you could.
Mickey Mouse and Popeye and
Yeah,
whatever, Zorro.
I always tell people the same thing. Like if you want to practice with one of those.
Yeah,
But move on to your stuff as fast as you can.
yeah. Because there's always this thing. Oh, now you don't know if they're watching. They're watching it because of you. They're watching it because of Star Wars. You
Right.
dig what I'm saying? So I want people to tune. That's why another reason why I put my name above most of my projects. It always says Alex Fernandez's Dawn, Alex Fernandez's Two, Alex Fernandez's Vacation, because it's true. My projects are truly 100% me. I'm the one that wrote them. I'm the one that directed them. I'm the one that edited them. I did the visual effects. I did the posters. It's 100%. If it's trash, it's 100% me too. So that's why I always put my name above the title.
That makes sense though, because a lot of creators don't do that.
And if
And I'm like, so whose project is this? And you got to like go dig into the whole thing to find out whose project it is.
and another reason is after a while you start seeing Alex Fernandez a lot. People are gonna say, "Who the hell is this Alex Fernandez?" So
Exactly.
they'll look at
It's branding, folks.
yes, exactly. Mainly
You
because
want people.
John Carpenter did it for
Yeah.
his films, but before him, the director that he loved also used to do it too. Oh my God, he directed Scarface, the original Scarface with Paul Mooney. Oh, I can't remember his name, but it'll come to me. But that
But,
guy,
I know what you're talking about because like it was like Cecil B. DeMille's.
yeah,
And
right,
and it has, and you're like, why is his name there? Because he's
yeah,
the guy who did the thing.
right. Because people were now paying to see his films. Like I like
Exactly.
that director's movies.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go see it. Oh, that's a piece
Exactly.
of Be the Bill picture. Oh my God, I'm gonna go see it. I know
Yeah.
it's gonna be epic. I know it's gonna be,
'Cause I,
so
I had like a whole conversation when I was younger, and they're like, "Oh, but he has nothing to do with it. He's just the guy making the movie." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's a Cecil B. DeMille production, which means that people are gonna go, ooh, I like how he makes movies."
yeah, exactly.
Hmm. And
100%.
that's the same thing with you. It's like, oh, it's an Alex Fernandez for production.
Yeah,
I
they
like
already
how he
know what
makes
they're gonna
movies.
get, right? If they like my stuff, they already know. Oh, okay, he gets right to the point. It's gonna be action. It's gonna be this, whatever. So yeah, that's the importance of it.
Oh, definitely. I agree with you completely. And it's one of those things that's important, which is the branding of things. If once you make your own brand, you got to keep going in that direction.
Absolutely. Yeah, you
And
can. You're only as good as your last picture, so you got to keep.
exactly. And it's important. Branding is important. It's one of those things that people don't really talk about. Just like when you're selling your stuff, branding yourself and your stuff, and that way people know who you are, what you do, just by knowing your name.
Absolutely. That's
Come on,
my.
folks. Oh man. But again, it's so funny. I'm happy that you're here because a lot of this stuff is that stuff that as creators we know, but then people look at it and go, I don't get it, or I don't see it, or why are they doing that, or or when they do stuff, they leave all that stuff out, and you're like, no, you can't. You got to go back. You need to do some of the stuff that we're talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to do your research. You got to do your work. You got to do your homework as well.
Yeah,
So you got to do your homework. You got to practice. It's the most thing. You got to be hands on. Because then while you're sitting in the classroom, it's all theory. But I mean, grab the camera, go outside.
yeah.
Actually composite your shot. Do a composition. Look at it. Yeah.
It bugs me out though, because again, we go back to that whole people that are out there going, but I don't have a camera, or I don't have this, and I don't have that. I'm like, dude, we're in this generation now where you don't need a camera.
Nope.
If you have a phone,
The iPhone, especially the new one, iPhone 17. I mean, the camera on that is amazing. You could literally shoot films. They've been shooting films with iPhones for years now. In fact, they have festivals that are just for films.
yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, that's not an excuse. I don't have a camera. Absolutely, you do. Because in the end, it's not even the what camera you shoot it with. It's just a story. People are
Exactly.
gonna connect with your story. If it's a good story, they're gonna connect with it, whether it's in color or black and white or whatever. The only thing is I would say is always have good sound because people
Yeah,
will put up with good sound.
very
They'll put up with
important.
a bad picture.
Yeah,
They're not gonna put up with good sound. With bad sound. That they're not gonna do it.
yeah, they'll walk right out on
They'll walk right out on you. Now the
it.
picture could be crazy and fuzzy and whatever, and they'll put up with it because if your story is good and engaging, they're gonna want to know what happens next.
Yeah, sound is important, folks. So always make sure to have good sound. Oh, this is funny. Anyway, I just realized it's you.
There's always bench press you on the team. It helps their stamina.
See, folks, you got to have fun with this stuff. Enjoy yourself.
This is a crossover comic book between me and another creator, another independent artist, and his comic book character, Jelly Bean Dream.
I,
So
I love collabs and crossovers. It's always so
yeah,
much fun.
I do a lot of those. I like creating. I like working with other artists and storytellers and collaborators. It's pretty cool because we have like this, our own universes, and it's not Marvel and DC, but it's still, it's still
Yeah,
like
exactly.
still rich and it's still diverse, and so it's cool.
It's always fun to create with other creatives. I always tell people, like, if you want, as a writer, you join a writers club, a writers group. I know as writers sometimes we're very we think somebody's gonna steal our stuff, but
Right,
it's so much better when you can sit down with other creatives and have a conversation.
right. And if they steal it, you can sue them once it gets on. It's even better for you. Save you all the trouble of trying to sell it and finding agents and all that. You go to the movies, you see your story, you get a lawyer, you're getting paid.
Yeah, you got to do that, folks.
That's route B if route A doesn't work out for you.
But it's so funny because I always think the same thing though. Like if another creator does your work, they're not going to do it the way you would do it.
Right. Absolutely.
Especially if you have a signature way of doing things, that work is not going to look like your work.
Yeah. Immediately. That's why I said people will tell right away.
Yeah,
I mean, we see that all the time with these movies when the first movie is great and then the second one is a different
yeah.
director. You can tell right away the minute the movie starts on, you're like, oh, this is somebody different. Just
Oh,
the
definitely.
tone of it just changes. You could just see somebody's making a different sauce here.
It's funny that you're saying that because I like a lot of people when I talk about music because music is the same way.
Yeah,
If you follow an artist, it's their stuff because they have a certain sound, they have a certain way of doing their music, and people go, "What are you talking about?" That's not, no. I'm like, dude, you can hear it in the music itself. This is them.
yeah,
That's why
absolutely,
when they do something different, you're like, "Whoa."
absolutely. That goes for composers as well.
Yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
definitely. John Williams. You know when it's a John Williams piece.
Yeah, and when there's somebody else
Yeah.
playing his music, and it's just like,
And
not
it's so funny because you actually hear it now when a lot of people are doing the John Williams variations in like the movies like Star Wars and stuff. It's like, oh, you can hear that it's different than what John Williams would do.
yeah, yeah, yep. And that guy is wow. He's 93 years old, so
I
But
love his music.
he's composing the next Steven Spielberg movie. So
Oh, yeah, he's gonna keep composing. It's gonna be like the old composers. He's gonna be like in the middle of it and go,
yep, it's his 30th film with Steven Spielberg.
oh, that's dude. But that's what you were saying though. Once you find that partnership, you continue it.
Yeah, yeah, it saves a lot of stress. You have enough problems and stress to deal with trying
Mhm.
to get the film done. So if you don't have to worry about actors or any of that stuff, once we all get on set, I know we're all gonna knock it out because we all want to be here and we want to do this. So that saves a lot of time and stress. And like I said, because you work with shorthand, so it's just like, all right, let's get this done.
Let's do this, Brutus.
Yeah.
I gotta say, like, because I've been on enough sets, and I understand exactly what you're saying. Sometimes you want to keep that team that you're with.
Absolutely. It's at least for me, it's imperative. I always try to keep the same people, at least the actors wise, because I don't have crew and stuff like that. So I'm the same crew all the time. So I just show up my camera, my equipment, and let's get it done. But actors wise, I try to keep. Now I'm gonna be getting new actors for the next these next projects. I'm working on a script for like it's kind of like an anthology. So
Mm.
three short stories, um, each telling a different story, not really connected type
I
thing.
like those anthologies. We grew up with those in the '70s, especially.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all these little bits of things together. Some of the best shows we watched, like the Twilight Zone and other they were that's what they were.
Yep. Tales from the Crypt, Creep Show.
Hmm.
So, that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm working on next. So I'm gonna be doing that's what I'll probably be doing next is the little anthology. I also have a script I'm working on about a female FBI agent trying to catch a serial killer. So that one will probably be later on in the year. I'll work on that. But that's going to be a lot longer than the short film. That might be feature length. So
Would that be your first feature?
it might be. I want it to be. So
Yeah,
yeah,
because it sounds like an interesting concept, and it sounds like you need to like play with it and make sure that it works in the way it needs to work.
right. Well, yeah,
Sometimes you need more time.
I'm trying to avoid all the cliches and all the all the stuff that people say. Oh, I've seen this 5 million times. So I had the script for a while, mainly because of that. I just have it on the side, and I keep going back to it little by little and adding stuff, and because I want it to really just be something different that is not the same. That when they turn it on and say, "Oh, I saw this in Silence of the Lamb," or "I saw this in Zodiac," or "I saw
Yeah,
Summer of Sam," or "I saw this wherever." So that's the kind of stuff that I'm trying to avoid.
folks, this guy does amazing work. You should go check it out. He does beautiful stuff. I love hanging out with him at Urban Action Showcase. It's always a blast to see you there.
Yeah.
I think that's where I get to see you now because it used to be I saw you in a lot of different places, but now I
Yeah.
usually just see you at Urban.
Yeah, well, I think I'll be at MCon this year because
Oh,
last year
cool.
I missed it last year. I
Because
think
that's where I used to see you was at MCon.
it's the guy that runs that is Kelly, I believe, right? And so
Yeah.
yeah, so when I had reached out to him, I had missed the limit, but then he was like, "Let me know for next year." And I was like, "Okay."
Oh,
So
that'd be great. Cool. I'll be seeing you there. I'll be like, we're gonna go talk to Álex Fernandez at MCon.
yeah, so I gotta reach out to him and then get on the same page to make sure I don't miss it this time.
Oh, no, you don't want to do that.
No, I don't. I don't.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna be on the Instagram going, "Hey, Álex, I'm reminding you." So, well, if people want to find you and all the good stuff, your movies, all that stuff, where can they go?
For the movies, they could go to youtube.com/the body jumpers.
Ah, cool.
And there it has all my short films. It has the web shows, Body Jumpers and Body Jumpers Resurrection. I also added the Dawn episodes on there in the playlist. So you have all the films, the short films, the web series, and everything, all in one place, including a small documentary on me, so you can learn even more about me and stuff like that.
you have it, folks. Go check him out, and
Oh,
he made it easier.
Instagram 10 at 10F Studios.
Oh, that's easy because I got it right here.
Oh,
And
okay.
folks, that's what you've been watching this whole time is all the beautiful stuff he's doing on Instagram. I'm gonna take that link and I'm gonna put it into the comment section so you guys can go check it out. And that's also a great way to keep because he's very good at giving the information. All right, come on. Stop messing with me. There we go. My computer's like, no, I don't want to put that there. There we go. Are you doing any other convention circuit besides MCon?
Not that I know of right now. Right now, I'm just focused on getting the next project done, the next film, and I'm submitting to other festivals and stuff. But it's the end of the year, so things start to kind of slow down, and everything is like
Yeah, it does.
fixed.
I gotta say I like it now because it slows down, but for some reason it's not slowing down. I just finished doing freaking 2 conventions this weekend: Garden State Comic Fest Vineland, which was a brand new one in New Jersey, and Extravacon, which was a whole brand new one in Long Island.
Oh, cool.
I think the next thing I'm doing is this week coming up, Big Apple Con. It's on Saturday. So, folks, if you want to find me, you'll see me there.
Nice.
It's a pretty good con. I like that. And Urban Action Showcase is an amazing con, folks. If you actually want to see a lot of this stuff in the theater, because that's how we
On the big screen.
Yeah. And that's why I've caught a couple of your movies that have been at Urban Action Showcase.
It's nice on the big screen, man.
Oh my God, yeah. And folks, if you're making movies and you're doing action movies, look out for Urban Action Showcase because they do the award ceremonies, and it'd be good to get your stuff out there.
Absolutely.
Dimitri's a great guy.
Very humble, very nice guy. Good brother, 100%.
Oh, definitely. And it's a great show in a theater.
Yeah.
Which that just makes it even fantastic because
And you get to meet a lot of legends.
Oh, definitely.
Quotes.
Yeah, folks. If you like the Kung Fu legends or the Mortal Kombat, you like or
100%.
Woo! Dude, I was geeking out because they had the voice guys and they had all the character guys for the Mortal Kombat video game, and
they had the video game and they had the movie people.
I was like, all right.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, man.
Folks, our friend Bitsy is doing a whole streaming right now because we're about to end the show, so you guys can go catch that. She's actually teaching Japanese at her stream right now, and I put that in the comment section as well. So cool. When you finish here, go learn some Japanese.
Oh wow, that's interesting. My son is learning Chinese.
I tried learning Chinese. I tried learning Japanese, but it doesn't sink in well in my head. So I've just learned enough so that I got a couple of words.
Gotcha. He's doing good. He's learning. I'm pretty amazed at his. I'm like wow, okay.
Yeah, Chinese is not an easy language.
No, it's not. So I told him, I say, hey, keep applying yourself.
Exactly.
Really, really learning. He loves Asian culture, so it's perfect.
Yeah, that's all that matters is that actually they try something. And I know you folks out there with your kids, you ride them pretty well. But dude, if they're trying, if they're really trying, I understand if they're not trying, but if they're really trying, give them the credit.
100%. Always give the kids credit, man.
Mm-hmm. Because if you don't give them the credit, then they're gonna get disheartened, and that's a whole other thing, folks.
Yeah.
You want to make sure your kids are doing the best they can, but at the same time, if they're doing the best they can, don't like jump on top of them.
Yeah, you gotta support them. You gotta show and support whatever they like, even if you don't like it. Because I know some parents. Because if they like it, support them, man.
I was gonna say, I know your daughter's following in your footsteps. With her superhero. Is your son following too?
My son is an artist, so he's that's all he's done. When he was in high school, he majored in art, and now he's in college, and his fourth year, and he majored in art. So that's what he does. He's an amazing artist in his own right. He does all that stuff, and he actually is the colorist for my comic books now. So Yeah,
Teamwork, family, man. Come on.
absolutely. And he does the color. He does the coloring and the lighting for my posters. I put the posters together and I send it to him, and he does all the lighting for it and everything. Sends it back.
I gotta say, this one of the things I've always enjoyed about you and your family is that you guys kind of work on all this together. And it's rare because you don't usually see a family like working on something like this.
Right. Well, it's all about being creative, I guess. And I see they have certain skills. I'm like, hey, I could use that.
Why don't you come
So,
over here and do
like,
something?
there's a scene in Glitter Girl where she's looking in the book where she's drawing. All
Right.
the drawings and everything was done by my son. He did the whole book, and then she's just pretending. And the skull that she's holding in that, he's the one that did the skull. So he
Nice.
helps me a lot with the props. And when it comes to art and all that stuff, he definitely steps up with that. And then my daughter, I said, I need an actress. Help me,
I gotta
please.
say, Glitter Girl is fantastic, folks. You guys gotta go check it out. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this long conversation into um, getting creative, having fun, making films. Because, folks, get creative, have fun, geek out, and stop listening to people.
Yeah, listen to yourself. You usually know
Exactly.
what's right. You know what's right for yourself. So just keep going. And
Exactly.
I say that you can't do it is because they can't do it themselves. So don't let that deter you.
Oh, you see that all the time. I
Yeah,
get that all the time.
absolutely. They can't do it, so they say no, you can't do it either. What?
Yeah. Yeah. Come on. That's easy. Oh my gosh. You do it.
Yeah.
It's so easy. You do it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. I'm like, uh-huh. Of course, we're gonna have Alex on the show again. I love talking to him. It's always great to have you on and geek out. And I am going to do a show on creators who do stuff exactly like you, the filmmakers. And yeah, I'm going to do like a roundtable. So
Oh,
I'll have you back on for that.
awesome. Look forward to it.
So, folks, on this show, when it ends, I press the button and this happens.